Welcome, Dr. Dong.
Hello.
About whom we'll hear more in a minute. Let me begin by thanking you all for coming. My name is Fred Garcia, and I'm the Executive Director of the Logos Institute for Crisis Management and Executive Leadership. Let me take a moment to invite my colleagues from the Logos Institute to please wave your arms in the air and let us know who you are. That is half the Logos Institute present. The other half are busy traveling, tending to clients and other matters. Thank you all for being here. Let me ask with a show of hands, who here is currently a student at New York University Public Relations Corporate Communication Program? Raise your hands. Yay. Of those who are currently students, who are graduating this month? Wow. Who here is an alumnus of the PRCC program? Wow. Who here is on the faculty or otherwise teaches in the classrooms in the PRCC program? Of those, how many of you graduated from the PRCC program?
I'm a big fan of the PRCC program.
Who here is here because you otherwise know Dr. Dong? Yep, you...
From a book cover.
From a book cover. And Dr. Dong, thank you for being here. The Logos Institute for Crisis Management and Executive Leadership helps leaders become better leaders. And we do that in a number of ways. One is we study leadership very carefully. We notice the patterns of leadership. We notice the temperaments that make for great leaders. And we look at leaders who themselves create other leaders. The purpose of leaders is not to have followers, but to create other leaders. And several years ago, we decided to look carefully at those leaders who we believe have made a difference in the world. And we conceived the Logos Institute Outstanding Leader Award to recognize those people. And when we scan the universe of leaders to consider whom to honor with that award, we look for three things. We look for consequential professional achievement that sets the standard for others to aspire to. So we want to be like them, which, by the way, is one of the attributes of a great leader. Second, that they have used strategic communication or public relations or the related communication disciplines to change the world, to change people, to change institutions, to make the world a better place and making people better able to perform what they are called on to perform. And third, that they have inspired and empowered the next generation of leaders through their teaching, through their mentoring, through their advocacy on behalf of others, through their being an inspiration to others. And we were honored about a year or more ago to award the first Logos Institute Outstanding Leader Award to Jim Lukashevsky, who is, as you know, America's crisis guru and was a mentor of mine. And for those who were paying attention then, let me remind you, Edward L. Bernays was the father of public relations. He was also the first professor of public relations anywhere, and it happened to be at NYU. He was mentor to Chester Berger. And Chester Berger was mentor to Jim Lukashevsky. And Jim Lukashevsky was mentor to me. And I was mentor and teacher to many of you, and you are now mentoring and teaching many others. So we have an unbroken line from Bernays to you, and the heavy burden falls on you to continue that unbroken line. And now we can blend that line with the work that Dr. Dong has done in China and elsewhere in the world. We know Dr. Dong very well, and I have known and admired and considered him a friend and a colleague and sometimes a boss and sometimes a companion, and I have come to admire Dr. Dong greatly. Dr. Dong has changed the way PR is practiced and taught in China. He has changed the way Chinese government officials, corporate leaders, and NGO leaders use communication for positive ends. He has brought best practices from around the world to China, and from China to the rest of the world. Dr. Dong has created connections among people in China and from China to other countries in Asia and in North America and in Europe and in the rest of the world. He has created connections among government structures and leaders and citizens in China. And he has created connections among some of the largest businesses in China and Chinese citizens and Chinese consumers. And he has also been an inspiring teacher of clients and of students and of the next generation of leaders at leading universities in China, such as Tsinghua University and Communication University of China, but also in industry associations, in Chinese NGOs, and in Chinese government agencies. I am honored to call him my friend and role model, and before I embarrass him further, let me embarrass him a little further. For the last 5 years, Dr. Dong, in addition to working with clients in government and in industry, has been a leader of Communication University of China. He currently is the Provost, which is the Chief Academic Officer, and in that capacity manages 5 schools and 6 institutes and 9 centers and many other affiliated organizations, and that's just at Communication University of China. Before that, he was the Dean of the School of Professional Studies, and for 10 years before Communication University of China, he was at Tsinghua University, which our friends from China know is widely regarded as the #1 university in China. And Dr. Dong was a leader there in establishing public relations as a discipline to be taken seriously. And he initially was the assistant dean and professor of the School of Journalism and Communication at Tsinghua. He founded the Institute for Strategic Communication and Public Relations at Tsinghua. He also was the founding director of the Institute for Global Journalism at Tsinghua. For the last 10 years, Dr. Dong has been the vice chair of the China Public Relations Association. For reference, the chair is a party full-time officer, so Dr. Dong is the top PR person in the China Public Relations Association of China. For the last 5 years, he has been the vice chairman of communication and education in the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce. That's the big companies with Jack Ma and Richard Liu and folks like that. And for the last 5 years, he's been an advisor on media and crisis communication to the State Council Information Office. He began his career as a journalist, being the morning and evening news anchor on China's Central Television. And before that, he was a news anchor for the BBC out of London, broadcasting to Chinese audiences out of London. Here he has been a Shorenstein Fellow at the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard University, and we are honored that he is now a friend of the Logos Institute for Crisis Management and Executive Leadership. Those of you who met Jim Lukashevsky, and I know many of you were here for that, know that Jim embodied not only great capacity as a counselor and a teacher, but also great kindness, great warmth, great connection with people, and those qualities also describe Dr. Dong. So we're also setting the bar a little higher for the next recipients, that Dr. Dong is a warm and decent and caring human being, which is admirable in its own right. And you add to that his professional accomplishments, we couldn't be happier that he has agreed to allow us to honor him with the Logos Institute Outstanding Leader Award.
Wow.
Dr. Dong. And may I invite you to say a few words?
Oh, sure.
And we'll hold this in safekeeping.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Fred. Fred is my best friend for many, many reasons. Number one, when I was going to be elected as the vice chairman of the China Public Relations Association many years ago, in the National People's Congress Hall, Renmin Dahuitang, during the election, he was the only international friend come to Dahuitang to support my election. So I thought, oh my goodness, so with a powerful guru of communications to support me, I must win. So thank you so much. And secondly, after I had the name, I must do very, very important jobs. Before I become the vice chairman, I only trained the spokesperson. But I probably think Fred already forgot. We had a conversation. We not only train the spokesperson, the communication people, but also we need to train the leaders. Because very often, the right choices are made by the communication people. But it was denied by their leaders. So not only prepare the communicators, but also prepare the communicators' bosses. So this is something I learned from Fred. So Fred, I must tell you, I'm a good student for that. So I tried that very hard for at least about 10 years, and now I got another position, which is vice chairman for the All China Federation of Commerce and Industry. So that's where the senior leaders are. So this is for the first time they had a PR person to be sitting in their board because they feel they need to listen more to the communication people. So today, this is a big honor for me. I must thank Fred for your encouragement, for your direction, for your supervision. I believe I should pay a fee to NYU in some way because I'm a special student with priority, with lots of privileges. Number two, I must thank China because China is not only my motherland, but also for any PR practitioner, it is a very big laboratory for many new things you can try there, and you will eventually get some very big success. So talking about internet, in the world we have 4.5 billion internet users. So 1/5 of them are in China. So if we apply something in China as a huge laboratory, it's easier for me to, even sometimes I'm a little lazy, but I can get the results fairly faster, and also maybe representing a bigger percentage. So this is why I should thank China. But I also have the feeling that I'm very pressured because after this big prize, so is there anything I can improve? 5G is coming. So as I said early this morning, the rumors will travel faster, 50 times faster. So their efficiency is so much higher. So it means that I have to run 50 times faster to defeat the rumors. But I think maybe that's not the only way. To run faster, maybe we have some other ways to make things right. So that's why I think this prize is not a stop. It is a new start for me. So I apply to be Fred's new student again. I want to learn more about 5G. Thank you.
Then I'm going to rely on some of the younger people to teach me about 5G.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
But don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. We have other things for you. We're going to weigh you down on your international luggage.
Wow.
But we have some things from this morning's NYU talk that Dr. Dong gave. Dr. Dong, you are now an honorary member of the School of Professional Studies of New York University. And
I'm so happy to be back to the School of Professional Studies.
Dr.
Because I was the dean.
He was
of
the dean.
COC, SBS, yeah.
And in order to help you remember New York University, we have a crystal New York University logo for you to put on your desk to remind you of your friends at NYU.
Thank you.
There's more. For you to remember your time at NYU, we have a New York University timekeeper so that you always know what time it is, and NYU. And then finally, I know that it is not often that you wear a tie, but we invite you, when you wear the tie, to wear the New York University Salvatore Ferragamo tie, one of which I happen to be wearing right now.
Wow, that's marvelous PR for the university. Thank you so much.
And before we close, Dr. Dong has given me permission to share with you that it is right now in China, and in about 5 or 6 hours here, Dr. Dong's birthday. And in the next room, we have some cake and a candle. And around the hall, we have various beverages of various potency. And I will, when we all get there and have an opportunity to look at and perhaps sample some cake, raise a glass in Dr. Dong's honor and ask us to share a toast to Dr. Dong.
This is the best birthday I've ever had. So I will come to New York every year.
We'll put you to work.
Yes.
Now,
So you must celebrate your birthday in Beijing.
we can do that. And I had discussions this afternoon and at this function with 2 different students who noted that their mentors put them in a difficult spot. And that is, their mentors put them in a position of responsibility where they weren't 100% certain what to do next because they had to go through their zone of discomfort. So since you have put me in the position of being your teacher even as you are mine, let me do the same with Dr. Dong. We had Bernays, to Berger, to Lukashevsky, to Garcia, to Dong.
Wow, what a dog.
And now you carry that unbroken chain back to China. And you have a lot of people to back you up there who are coming out of our program going back to China.
Oh, I thought PR people in China was lonely, but not anymore.
So, Shangri Kwai Le, happy birthday, and let's all go to the next room and have some cake and